Hey, what's up guys? My name is Ilyas and this is your which one 48th tutorial. And in this tutorial we are going to introduce a new function or a new way how to perform an AJAX request. Well, instead of using post or get, we can just use a common function called AJAX. And this function AJAX, it takes lots of parameters, so you can specify your request very well. For instance, in our case, we're using a post request, right? This post request, and we are referring to the server.php, and we send in the login and the password as data, and then we have a function which executes and delivers this data when the request is done or when the request succeeds. So this is what we pretty much do using this post request. You can actually do the same using this function called AJAX, but here you need to specify your parameters. So let's just go ahead and do the same thing, but using this AJAX. So the first parameter is type. So you just specify the type, and our type of request is post. So you make sure just spell post like this. And then we need to specify URL of the file we are referring to. So we're referring to the server.php, and let's just say URL, set it equal to server.php. And then we need to figure out what kind of data do we send. So what we send is, you wouldn't want to use this curly bracket for this because we are sending like different variables, not only one variable. And after the semicolon, make sure you put a comma. And right here we have following parameters. We are sending actually this login. So, and in this case, you type the name of the variable which you send to the PHP script in parentheses, and then you just need a colon as usual, and the variable, and our variable called username, and then a comma, and let's create a new line, and let's send the password and set it equal to the password like this. And at the end of the last parameter you don't need any comma, so that's it. So it looks correctly. And then instead of having this function data, we have following thing called success. And this function, which we define right here, will execute when the request succeeded. So, or you can actually call this variable as a parameter as you wish. You can say message or text, whatever. So I just call it data because we get data from the server. And then you can just go ahead and either console log the data, or let's just alert it using this popping out message. So let's just alert the data which comes from the server. So I think this is it. And now we can comment this post request out, because otherwise this the post request like this and this post request will perform at the same time, and we don't need that. So let's just go ahead and run this. So run a test. So now I expect a message saying wrong login to come because I'm entering a wrong login data. And it doesn't for some reason, because it says unexpected token opening curly bracket somewhere, which I apparently forgot. I think, yes, I forgot to put a colon right here. So this is the example how a very simple mistake can cause such an error. So you just guys have to make sure that you put everything on its place, like all the colons, all the commas. When I was a beginner to it, when I was new to it, sometimes I think I put the comma after the last parameter, which of course caused an error. So now let's just go ahead and test the thing. So I'm just entering some wrong login data and say signing, and it says wrong login. So that means that this message comes from the server, and it means that the request is right and it works. So this is just the other way how I perform an AJAX request. And probably one of the advantages of using this type of function to perform an AJAX request is that you see all the parameters like type or request and URL and data, what you send. So it's just better to understand this code. But for me personally, I use this post request because I mostly work with post requests when I use jQuery, and that's why I'm kind of more familiar with this post request than rather with this AJAX request, even though they do the same. Alright guys, and this was your one of the last tutorials on AJAX, and I hope you guys had fun watching this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next